We all love computer games and we enjoy that spooky time of the year. As this is my first top 5 video, I wanted to take advantage of the Halloween spirit and tell you the list of my favourite games that are ideal to play during this evening. Be it spooky, or scary, or eerie, maybe there's witches, or skeletons, or ghosts, or even zombies. Only by watching this video will you find the answer. Shadow Man is loosely based on the comic book series of the same name, published by Valiant Comics. The original game was released in 1999 for the Nintendo 64, PlayStation and Windows PC, and released for the Dreamcast in 2000. Michael Lenoir becomes the current Shadow Man, a lineage of voodoo warriors who protect the world of the living, known as Liveside, from threats crossing over from Deadside. After the voodoo priestess Mama Nettie bonds the Mask of Shadows to him, you control the character Michael Lenoir, aka Shadow Man, and put a stop to the end of the world by stopping the antagonist known as Legion and his army. A remastered version of the game has since been released in 2021. The Evil Within was released in October 2014 for PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. The game centers on protagonist Sebastian Castellanos as he is pulled through a distorted world full of nightmarish locations and horrid creatures. Played in a third-person perspective, players battle disfigured nightmare-like enemies, including bosses, using guns and melee weapons, and progress through the levels, avoiding traps, using stealth, and finding collectibles. A sequel, The Evil Within 2, was released in October 2017.
My God, Conway.
Resident Evil 7 was released in January 2017 for PlayStation 4, Windows, and Xbox One, followed by a cloud version for the Nintendo Switch in May 2018 in Japan and December 2022 worldwide, and PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions in June 2022. It also supports the PlayStation VR headset. The player controls Ethan Winters as he searches for his long-missing wife in a derelict plantation occupied by an infected family, solving puzzles and fighting enemies. Resident Evil 7 diverges from the more action-oriented Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6, returning to the franchise's survival horror roots, emphasizing exploration. It is the first main Resident Evil game to use a first-person view. A sequel, Resident Evil Village, was released on May 7th, 2021.
You did good, Ethan.
Open up! Hey!
Silent Hill was released in 1999. As this was the first installment in the Silent Hill video game series, the game was released exclusively for the original PlayStation. Silent Hill uses a third-person view with real-time rendering of 3D environments. To mitigate the limitations of the console hardware, developers used fog and darkness to obscure the graphics and hide pop-ins, which in turn helped establish the game's atmosphere and mystery. The game follows Harry Mason as he searches for his missing adopted daughter in the eponymous fictional American town of Silent Hill. Stumbling upon a cult conducting a ritual to revive a deity it worships, he discovers her true origin. 5 game endings are possible, depending on the actions taken by the player, including one joke ending. Various adaptations of Silent Hill have been released, including a 2001 visual novel, the 2006 feature film Silent Hill, and a 2009 reimagining of the game titled Silent Hill: Shattered Memories. The game was followed by Silent Hill 2 in 2001 and a direct sequel, Silent Hill 3, in 2003.
What's this?
Harry!
Sybil?
I'm glad you're okay. I shouldn't have left you. Things are worse than I thought. It's nuts.
What are you doing here? I thought you left town.
I saw you go in here, so I...
Last but not least, Luigi's Mansion is arguably one of my favourite all-time GameCube games. It was a launch title for the GameCube console that more than made up for the lack of a Mario launch title. It was released in multiple regions between September 2001 and May 2002. Players control him as he explores a haunted mansion to rescue Mario and battles ghosts by capturing them through a vacuum cleaner supplied by Professor E. Gadd. Luigi's Mansion's story takes place over 4 areas, all sets of explorable rooms between boss fights. Players may also access a training room and a gallery at Professor Egad's laboratory between areas or upon starting the game. In each area, players control Luigi to explore the mansion's rooms and hunt down the ghosts within them, acquiring keys to get through locked doors and eventually fighting a boss ghost at the end of the area. To assist him in his task, Luigi uses a flashlight and two inventions supplied by Egad, the Poltergust 3000, a specially modified high-powered vacuum cleaner, and the Game Boy Horror, a play on Nintendo's Game Boy Color. The game was followed by two sequels, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2013, and Luigi's Mansion 3, which was released for the Nintendo Switch in 2019. A remake of Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS, co-developed by Nintendo and Grezzo, was released in 2018.